Welcome to How Preschool Teachers Do It.
This is Alison Kentos. I am an early childhood educator.
And this is Cindy Tarabush. I am an early childhood consultant.
This podcast is for parents and early childhood professionals.
Let our experience and research-based knowledge become your guide. Welcome back. Today we have what I think might be a slightly lighter topic than we've been doing recently. We've done some pretty heavy topics. But today we want to talk about taking time for ourselves as parents or teachers. Me time.
Yeah,
Yay for me time.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily take care of ourselves as well as we should. And I am sad to say that I believe that that's somewhat a function of the messages that women get about themselves. I can't speak for men. I'm not a man. But I can tell you that some of the messages that women get as either educators or parents is that everyone else comes first.
Yeah.
And that taking time for ourselves is selfish, which is untrue.
That is untrue.
It helps us to recharge.
Yeah, it's very unhealthy not to take time for yourself.
It really is. But it's something, honestly, that I was not good at, and I continue to sometimes struggle with. As a self-employed consultant, you know how hard it is to walk away from my work?
Yeah. I mean, I imagine that is hard. Like, I walk away from my work because it's a separate building.
Yeah,
you know you don't have that choice. No. Your work is at home, so yeah.
Or, and I travel a lot for my work, but it's been a challenge that my work is always with me, that I don't shut the doors to an office and go home.
That's hard.
Yeah, it's been hard. And when I was a younger parent too, although as the years went on, I started to take more time for myself parent-wise. But when my kids were little, who's got time for that,
I know.
And I also didn't think of it as a priority, to be very frank.
I know, but I feel that it's important to make it a priority, because I have a few friends that some are teachers.
That are about to be outed on this podcast. Go ahead.
I am about. But I don't want to name drop, but I think you know who don't. You are. But I also have some friends who are parents who I feel like so often don't do things for themselves that it's almost like then the only identity that they have is their child, through their child. And then
that's not healthy.
And that's not healthy. You're losing who you are. So you don't want that, But
no, it's important to carve out some time for things you enjoy doing or for things that will relax you. Don't you think it's why like yoga and meditation and all that are so popular now?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, we're so stressed out, we'll do anything to de-stress.
Yeah.
But I think yoga and meditation are terrific ways to de-stress.
Yeah.
I'm not so much into yoga as I am meditation. Do you do those?
Meditation, I have trouble with meditation, probably because I'm doing it wrong.
You should try guided meditation. There's so many apps that you could put on your phone.
I have the, what is it, Headspace, I think. And
I don't know that one. I don't know.
Buddhify. Have you tried Buddhify?
No, I have not.
Oh,
there are other ones. I don't know. You have to, and everyone I think has a different taste, like you have to figure out what works for you. And for me, meditation, I enjoy that more than yoga. I don't kind of like thinking about my body when I'm trying to relax, and yoga makes me think about my body and the position of my body. I don't mean like, my body's terrible, but I mean like I don't want to have to worry about positioning my body when I'm trying to turn off the thoughts in my head. So for me, that doesn't work, though I know for a great many people it does, and have at it and go. You know what works better for me even than yoga? And Alison knows this about me. Alison, what's one of my favorite hobbies to do in my off time?
Taking a shower?
Yeah, no. That does work pretty well, and I'm sure people around me appreciate it.
Well, I just know every time we stay at a hotel, you comment on the showers.
I do.
So I know you're spending a lot of time in there.
Because I stay at a lot of hotels. I do a lot of public speaking about child development. Okay, all right. It's true. I do enjoy a good shower, but no, that isn't it. Alison, I was going to say jigsaw puzzles.
Jigsaw puzzles, yes. Cindy and I do jigsaw puzzles, and we exchange them.
So. We exchange jigsaw puzzles. See, I thought you were going to go right there because I actually have a puzzle you gave me sitting, waiting to be done.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
do. I enjoy jigsaw puzzles, so I'll even sit like with a table. I have a table I use for it, and I'll
Yeah.
just sit and jigsaw puzzle for a little while in the evening. Helps me turn my brain off.
Yeah.
What
I
do you
usually
do? What other? I
jigsaw
mean, I know you
puzzle.
jigsaw puzzle too, and maybe
I
you
do
enjoy a
jigsaw.
good shower. But
No, showers don't relax me like some people do. To me, a shower is like I'm
really,
gonna go in, I'm gonna do the thing, and then I'm gonna get out. But
or
I
we've
know
gone off the rails, boy.
some people will take showers for hours because that relaxes them, and if that works for you, good for you. But I read. I
Also,
am a
as a
reader.
parent, it's maybe the only place to hide.
Place
But
you
go,
can get that. Yeah. For
you
me,
read.
I read. I'm a reader. I'm a big reader. Like I could, like during the summer when I had off during the summer, I could read like 25 books just over the summer because
Wow.
it takes me into a different world. So while
Did you
I'm
read my
reading,
book?
no,
Oh my
because
gosh.
I had it on my Amazon and then they told me it was back ordered.
Oh, well, no, you can get it. You can get
I
it.
can get it now. Okay, so I'm
You
gonna
can
put it
get it
back
on
on my Amazon.
Amazon or Barnes and Noble. My publisher is
Oh,
so happy right now listening to this,
maybe
no
I
doubt.
should try it on Barnes and Noble because it's been on my
It's
Amazon
on
on and off
Amazon. They have it.
since you published. Oh, good, because I've had it on there. I think it was on there, and then when it's back ordered, it
So
was
my
on see it
publisher
for
is so
later.
happy right
He's so
now.
happy right now.
Yeah.
I'll put it back on there.
The title, for those of you who are going book, she has a book.
Shut
I
up.
do. I'm an author. The book title is Teach the Whole Preschooler: Strategies for Nurturing Developing Minds, and it's published by W. Norton. So yeah, that was like a shameless odd plug because
Yes.
you admitted not
I
having read
the
my
book.
book with the 25 books you read all summer.
Well, yeah, but also during the summer, like, because I am one of those lucky people that gets off during the summer if I want to have off. I don't necessarily want to read a book about teaching during the summer
Yeah,
because I feel
I don't
like
consider that, by the way. If I'm a teacher, I don't consider reading a book about teacher me time. That's
yeah, it's
still
not. To me,
your
that's
job.
educating. That's me doing my job. So like, I'll read a lot of like mystery books and
Yeah.
like crime novels and things like that because I'm like that'll at least take me to another world. Whereas if I read a book about teaching, that's taking me back into my world that I'm trying to get out of.
And why
You
do you
know?
think, as a teacher, someone who teaches full time, why is it important for you to have the me time? I mean, after all, you're not, in the same situation as me. You walk out of your building, shut the door, and your work is behind that door.
Because I think if you don't recharge yourself, you're not at the fullest capacity for the next day for those kids.
Also, it's not really your work never really stays behind that door, does it?
No, it doesn't. Like I come home, I do my lesson plans at home.
Yeah.
And it's not just that. It's not just the lesson planning and all the work that goes into it. It's a mental thing.
It is.
I
I think about those kids,
I think
right?
about the kids and the parents, even when I'm at home. Like you worry about them. You're like, oh my God, is he okay? Like this person got hurt today. I wonder if they're okay.
Yeah,
Like
it stays with
so
you.
and so.
We're dealing with
Yeah,
real human beings. It stays with you. And I think
it's an
because of that, it's a
emotional
lot of,
job. Yeah.
it's a huge job. And it doesn't just happen between the hours you're in your classroom. I get very upset when people think teachers are so lucky because they hardly have any working hours. That's completely and totally untrue. That should have been in
No,
a myth busting episode.
it should be because I was just reading something about how like teachers put like a typical working person who works like a 9 to 5 job puts in like I forget it was like 2,000 hours a year or something like that, and a teacher puts in like 2,800 hours a year or something, and
Yeah.
they're only paid from 8 to 3 or something like that. So and they have summers off. That's within a 10-month period. They're putting
Yeah.
in
I'm going to tell
that
you
much time.
what, you need downtime in the summer. The
Yeah,
school year is rigorous.
yeah. This is the first year I actually took the summer off, like the whole summer. Didn't
Oh,
work
good
at
for
all.
you.
Yeah, usually I'll get like a part-time job,
Mm-hmm.
but this year I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna take the whole summer off. I'm just gonna see if I can do that. And I did, and it was like the most glorious thing. I'm like, this is what everybody's talking about.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like,
There you
oh, this is
go.
wonderful.
Yay.
I was like,
And
oh
and I
my gosh.
I know for me, and some other people may have to do that. It might just not just be my lifestyle or my job. I
Yeah,
schedule downtime. You know, like for example, in the work that I do, there's a season where I'm working with schools to open their school year, whether I'm doing in-service days or going to my first coaching or consulting appointments in school or whatever, you know, I'm doing. And then there's a season that immediately follows that, that's conference season, where I'm doing a whole bunch of traveling and public speaking. And I learned that it really helps me to schedule a week off between those two seasons. My husband and I, now that my children are older, I have one who is a college graduate and lives on his own with his partner, and I have another one who's a college senior. So my husband and I are in a situation now where we can pack a bag and go somewhere. And I realize that's not everyone's situation, but we take advantage of that, I'll tell you that. So in that 1 week that I always schedule between seasons, we go somewhere, and it helps me reset my brain.
Yeah.
Everyone needs that resetting of the brain, whether you're a parent or a teacher or any other kind of professional.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do for a living. I think everybody needs that.
They do, and I think it's important to realize that if you're neglecting yourself, you're not giving anyone 100% of you.
Right.
So everyone should think about how they can have some me time. I remember when my kids were little, sometimes me time was I'm going to go lock myself in the bathroom for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just going to lock myself in the bathroom and see if anybody notices.
Notices that I'm in the bathroom.
And inevitably somebody knew. I'd be in there for a couple minutes and there'd be a knock at the door.
Mommy. Yeah. You know what I do when I take my dog for a walk, and my dog needs to go for a walk often.
Your dog's been quiet during these episodes we've been recording.
No, well, you know, my little dog, he got injured last week, so yeah, he got his.
So he's a little sedated.
Yeah,
Anybody who listens to this podcast on a regular basis knows that sometimes the background music is Allison's dog.
It's my dog barking usually. Yeah. He just woke up, so I'm sure that. But I gave him a treat that usually keeps him calm. But he's going to be wanting to go out soon.
He's taking some me time too. See?
Yeah, he got hurt, and his nail got partially ripped out while he was at the park. Yeah, last week.
Ow.
So then he had to go to the doctor, and the doctor had to remove it. So he's in a cone and everything.
Okay, so that explains the quiet.
And then he's on some medicine that kind of.
Oh yeah, he's
a little bit
definitely enjoying the medicine.
But typically when I take him for walks, we'll go to the park. Mm-hmm. I purposely won't bring my phone because I want to unplug for that half hour.
I'm so not.
Yeah,
good at that.
I know. And everybody, you know, when I'm at the park, they're like, "Oh, let's I'll meet friends up there that that have dogs, and they're like, "Oh, let's exchange numbers so we can walk together." And I'm like, "I don't have my phone." They're like, "What do you mean you don't have your phone?"
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God, I can't even imagine it.
Yeah, because people are like, "I can't believe you unplug." I'm like, I just feel like it's, I just need to not be connected for a little while.
All right,
you know what I mean?
I'm going to say this. There are times where people have said to me, "Aren't you going to unplug? Aren't you going to unplug?" And honestly, I find that more stressful than keeping my phone on me. So no, I'm not going to totally unplug because it's going to freak me out. Because what if my son, who is a senior in college, suddenly needs me and I had unplugged? There are things that I just feel are so stressful to not have a way for people to contact me. I will do things like put an away message on my email, if I don't want to have to be checking it all the time or whatever. But I'm not good at unplugging, nor do I think I enjoy unplugging. And don't you think it's about finding what you enjoy, right?
It's finding what you enjoy.
Yeah,
because if it stresses you out, then that defeats the whole purpose.
Right. And I think it's so essential that especially people who work with or are raising young children have that time where they can just have that me time and have time where they're doing something that relaxes them or that they enjoy, because the children need the best version of us. Yeah. And we can't be the best version of us when we feel like we are constantly on a treadmill. So I don't even care if it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes, anything. Just be like, I need a few minutes for myself. And then hopefully you will be able to do things with relatives or friends or every so often, right? Or something.
Make
or yourself. I've learned to enjoy literal me time. I've learned, you have to enjoy your own company.
Yeah, me time.
sometimes.
Yeah, because me time doesn't necessarily mean doing it by yourself.
Right,
You
right.
know, like I know, like a bunch of my teacher friends, we get together like once a month. You
Right.
know, and we just go out, and sometimes we talk about school, and sometimes we don't. You know, we just go.
Oh,
We
no,
just
look, I jinxed the whole dog thing. I hear
you should hear him whining now.
I hear the
See?
dog in the background. I jinxed us. Oh no.
He's
And on that
whining
happy note, I'm going to let you go have some time with your dog,
yeah.
and end this episode by saying, please remember that when you're overwrought, you just can't act and react with children to the best of your abilities. So find a way to not be so overwrought all the time. Please subscribe and share the podcast, and we'll catch you next time.